Welcome back to our explainer on Capital Redefined. Last time we got the big picture. Today we are diving right into the heart of the matter, the problem of value. This is where the authors really start building their incredible new framework.
So check this out. The authors kick things off by taking this super famous line from Marx and Engels and giving it a powerful twist. They're arguing that the biggest fight in human history isn't just about who gets the stuff. It's a much deeper battle over how we even define what's valuable in the first place. And that one little change, well, it changes everything.
Now, to really get what they're saying, we've got to understand that critical theory has usually looked at value through two very different lenses. Let's break those down.
Okay, first up, you've got the analytical approach. Think of this like a car mechanic looking at an engine. They're not judging if the car is good or bad. They're just popping the hood to explain, objectively, how this specific engine works, how it keeps running, and where it's likely to break down.
Then you have the normative approach. This isn't the mechanic. This is more like the visionary car designer or the safety advocate. They don't start with the engine we have. They start with a dream of what a perfect car should be: safe, efficient, good for the planet. Then they use that ideal to critique the clunker we're all driving around in.
And this is where you see the real tension, right? The analytical view describes what is, but it can get totally trapped inside the system's logic. The normative view imagines what ought to be, but it can feel a bit like a daydream, totally disconnected from how things actually work.
So here's the author's big move. They say, look, you can't have one without the other. If you actually want to create a theory that helps change the world, you have to bring these two together. You need the mechanic's deep knowledge of the engine and the visionary's blueprint for something better.
All right, let's get into the weeds with this. To show us why we need this new integrated theory, the authors go back and deconstruct the most powerful analytical engine ever built for critiquing capital, Karl Marx's own theory of value.
Their central point is fascinating. They say that Marx's theory, as absolutely brilliant as it is, has a kind of built-in limitation. To explain capitalism, it has to adopt capitalism's own definition of value. So it ends up describing what is valuable to capital, which isn't always the same thing as what's valuable to people or to the planet. And because of that, they argue, you get these four key limitations. First, creativity. It's so focused on the factory floor, it overlooks the value created in raising a family, in art, in community. Second, livability. Nature is just sort of a backdrop, not a core source of value itself. Third, conviviality. It puts a class front and center, sometimes pushing other important power dynamics to the side. And fourth, alternative. It's so good at explaining the existing system that it doesn't give enough credit to the real alternatives people are already building.
Okay, so how do we get past these limits? This is where the authors introduce a really radical distinction. And honestly, it's the foundation for their entire book. This is a total game changer.
So, get this. They propose that what capitalism calls value isn't a positive thing being created at all. It's actually a deficit. It's a measurement of what has been destroyed. The success of the system is measured by how much of a good, flourishing, inclusive life has been annihilated. It's a fundamentally negative force pretending to be a positive one.
They give this a name: fetish value. This is all the stuff that looks good on a balance sheet. Soaring profits, GDP growth, but which, in reality, is actively destroying our ability to generate what truly matters. It's a dangerous illusion, a shiny object that's designed to distract us.
And the opposite of that? Well, that's true value. And this isn't just some vague feel-good concept. It's defined very precisely as any quality that actually helps life, and that means all life, human and more than human, to survive, to thrive, and to be free. And crucially, it's something that is decided on and created together, collaboratively. This slide just puts it all on the table. True value flows from commoning, from working together, from regenerative activities that are aimed at well-being. Fetish value, on the other hand, flows from decommoning, from enclosing, extracting, and imposing things for the sake of accumulation. One is creative, the other is annihilative.
Okay, so we've got this powerful new distinction. How do we turn it into a framework we can actually use to understand the world and build something new? This is where the theory really gets its legs.
To do this, they pull off a really brilliant move. They suggest we stop asking the old question, where does value come from? And instead, borrowing from Aristotle, ask a much deeper one. What are the four fundamental causes that are required to bring true value into existence?
And here it is.
This table is the moment where it all just clicks into place. It takes each one of those 4 limitations from Marx's theory we talked about earlier, connects it to a sphere of life that's been ignored, and from that reveals one of the 4 essential causes of true value. It's just an incredibly elegant and powerful way to build a more complete picture.
So what this all means is that true value isn't a single thing. It's more like a recipe with 4 essential ingredients. You need the efficient cause, which is our own creative power. You need the material cause, the living world that sustains us. You need the formal cause, our social bonds, our solidarity, our care for one another. And finally, you need the final cause, our ability to imagine and build a better future. Fetish value works by systematically attacking all 4 of these.
So, with this incredibly powerful new framework now assembled, true value, fetish value, and the 4 causes, the authors have really set the stage for their next big move.
And this leaves us with a provocative and I think absolutely essential question for our time. If the system we're in is based on a fetish value that is actively destroying the very foundations of a good life, what is the deeper philosophical grounding we need to build a world based on true value instead? Answering that question is precisely what Chapter 3 is all about, where the authors dig into the philosophical bedrock for this new theory of capital. And of course, we're going to break it all down in the next part of our series on Capital Redefined. I can't wait to see you there.